Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar delivered to you by myself, Musin Ali, the Senior Customer Success Expert at PLM Central. Today's webinar is going through the Creators Program, a program designed by PTC to help out all startups. And we do have very special guests here today to deliver this webinar for us. So let's go through what to expect with this webinar. So the first thing will be, I will run through and introduce our company, PLM Central, and what we provide as a PTC partner reseller. We will run through the Creators Program, which will be presented to you by Syed Hussain from PTC, and then run through a client case study, Carnot Limited, who will be presented by Nadiur Rahman. And then we'll close off with a summary where we will take Q&A. So if you do have any questions, please do drop them into the Q&A function, and the relevant member will come through and answer it towards the end. So the first thing, we are PLM Central. We are a partner reseller for PTC, and we specialize in software such as CAD and PLM, specifically Creo and Windchill, amongst many other software such as AR and IoT. We are based in Watford, Hertfordshire, and we do have a global reach, as you can see by a few of our customers we've listed. We do have Carnot, who are based in London. We do have DSS, who are based in the Republic of Ireland, and even go as far as Philips in Holland. So we are looking to help any innovators innovate with digital product design and manufacturing automation, leading to digital transformation at affordable prices. So without further ado, that's enough about us. I will hand over to the main part of this webinar, which is to Syed of PTC, who will run through and discuss with you the Creators Program, what it's about. So if you would like to take over, Syed.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to share my screen. Just let me know when you can see.
Perfect.
Perfect. Let's also keep my camera on so you guys can see who I am. Perfect. Thank you very much for the webinar, and everyone just on the call. I'm going to go over what the Creators Program is. I'm going to go over the program offering, some support resources, the eligibility for the program. And towards the end, we're going to have question and answers. So if you do have questions from my side, just feel free, put it into the chat box, and we'll take it off towards the end. Right, just to give you an introduction to myself, I've been at PTC for around 6 years within the CAD market. I've been working for the UK and the Nordics market. And now I'm supporting the CAD and PLM business, so Creo and Windchill, part of the business across EMEA. Now, really just to go over what the Creators Program is. So PTC hasn't really been in this sort of field, and we wanted to focus on this startup community, and we wanted to invest within the startup community, but rather than we wanted to do that through our powerful programs of Creo within the CAD world, as well as Windchill from PLM. And at the moment, we wanted to really introduce this for Creo. And we wanted to really focus on helping startups, giving them the power to create, giving them more capabilities to innovate so they can start working and designing their ideas, bringing that into, bringing some fruit there. And we wanted them to start coming up with new ideas and be a bit more faster. Now, that really meant us, the idea behind this is having the startups not really so much focused on the back end, but actually producing and getting the designs and the products out there in the market. So in terms of the program offering, right, in the Creators Program, we're providing you with Creo Parametric within a package that comes with a lot of different capabilities that I'll go over. Along with that, now, if you're new to Creo, right, you've been using a different CAD system, you could also get something called Creo Learn that helps build your education within the Creo world, and gives you also in terms of goal support. So if you have issues, technical issues or so on, that you want to reach out to someone, you have that option as well. And lastly is trying to also come up with some co-marketing opportunities, which allows us to also get you in front of some of our customers as references, so everyone across the world can really know what you are doing. So to go over what Creo packages, what sort of Creo packages we have and what that really means for the Creators Program. So what you see here in terms of the Creo package, we have various different packages in terms of capabilities, from Creo Design Essentials to Creo Design Premium, and you can choose a package what is most relevant to you, and really take it from there. So you can go in focusing on design, or you can also have capabilities of piping and cabling or simulation functionalities, as well as some of the new functionalities that we have in terms of generative design, where you have AI part of Creo, where you have take advantage of the partnership that we have when it comes to ANSYS, involving ANSYS products. So ANSYS Creo Simulation Live and Creo ANSYS Simulation within the package, and take advantage of that as well, along with getting some smart connected products out, as well as going into augmented reality within Creo, as well as additive manufacturing. So as you can see, there's a big range of capabilities that you can really take advantage of, and that's what we really want to what we wanted to include within the package of the Creators Program. So it gives you a good range, and you can really go and start to focus on many things, and really be creative and innovative within your designs. Now, as it comes to Creo Learn, right? So it's an online platform that helps you build your knowledge around Creo, and gives you certain certificates, so you can be confident enough as you're moving on, right? As you're scaling as well, and the project is growing in the future, that your capabilities within Creo are also growing. So there's a lot of advantages to the program that we wanted to really offer within the startup community, right? So you also have the e-learning available, as well as certain tutorials and courses there, part of Creo and the package. As I already said, you also have the support portals available for various sources, forums, to really go and discuss how other people have been using Creo, how other customers are using it in different industries as well. Now, again, the idea is, right, to start reviewing how you've been using the various different capabilities, and really take advantage of that, so that you can start looking into the Performance Advisor as you scale. Try to understand the capabilities that you have, and really take advantage of the full suite of PTC solutions more in the future as you grow as a startup. Now, really looking in terms of co-marketing opportunities as well, right? So you want to also start looking into ways to promote yourself, and we can really also support on that front, is getting some sort of use cases, some customer references, some success stories out, where we publicly provide that to our customers as well. So it's also increasing your awareness within that market. So in terms of the eligibility, right? So this is a very important part of the Creators Program, as not everyone is eligible for this. So you need to be a startup, right? You need to be a registered entity. You need to be doing your own manufacturing or your designing of products, right? And you need to be within the business of no more than 6 years. In terms of revenue, you shouldn't be generating a revenue of more than 1 million in terms as a startup, and of course not be receiving more than 2 million as funding. So we're really going after startups that really need a little bit of a supporting hand to go forward or cross the line, and really take it from there. So the Creators Program is done in two ways. The application is in two fronts. So you'll have to go into the website. There's a form that you will register to, and then that form is going to then take you to a Qualtrics form, which asks you some eligibility questions, as I mentioned earlier on, to really give us an understanding, and then this is then later gone on to further get qualified from PTC and then passed over to PLM Central in this case, to really go and understand your needs, how you are growing your project that you have, and get you signed up for the program, for the Creators Program. So really that's how we have really set up the Creators Program to provide value there. Now, in terms of looking into Creo and why that is, and why we really came up with the program as well, is Creo is a solution that is very scalable, where you can be as a small startup using Creo Parametric or as a large enterprise. So you don't need to a few years down the line be thinking of, oh, I need to upgrade my CAD system. You're able to do that within Creo, and that's the power behind Creo Parametric and the developments that we've been doing in the past few years. So definitely look into that. If you're especially new into Creo, right, come and speak to PLM Central, and then we can drive this forward to really showcase the power behind the Creators Program. I think that's it from my side. I'll pass it over to Mohsin again to really take it over.
Thank you very much for that, Syed. That was a wonderful presentation and very informative. And I hope we all could see the value that Creo and the Creators Program can really provide to all startups. So the next part of the webinar was a showcase of some of the work we've done utilizing the Creators Program with our very own customer, Carnot. We do have Nadiur here, who I will hand over to now to present his piece on how Creo has been for them whilst they started up their whole Carnot project. So over to you, Nadiur.
Thank you, Mohsin. I will just share screen. Okay. All right. So thanks for inviting me over to this, Mohsin. Lovely to be here. Hello, everyone. I'm Nadiur Rahman. I'm one of co-founders of Carnot. I'm also the head of operations and digital marketing and communications. So I'll be providing an insight into the challenges that we as a startup experience and how the PTC solutions are helping us address these challenges. So first of all, who are Carnot and what are we doing? On screen, you'll see our mission statement, and that really sits at the core of what we're trying to do. So we are approaching our 2-year birthday, actually, at the end of this month. And it's really important to reflect back and think about what it is that we're hoping to achieve, why are we doing this, and what's the end goal? What are the impacts on humans, the environment, people in general? So we're developing an ultra-efficient zero-emission combustion engine. These engines are modular power units and can be combined to produce larger quantities of power. we're pursuing a radical redesign of the modern internal combustion engine, and that inevitably requires careful consideration on a component and system level, as you can imagine. We're using a combination of advanced technical ceramics in a novel engine layout using sustainable fuels such as hydrogen, ammonia, and biofuels. We're targeting the markets which are hardest to decarbonize, which include off-grid power and long-haul transport, to name a few. People always ask us, but isn't everything becoming electric? And you would be correct in saying that for passenger and light-duty vehicles. However, the technology simply isn't appropriate for the larger applications, which have high energy requirements. And this is mostly down to the low energy density of batteries. On screen, you'll see two quotes we've taken from world-leading OEMs to show you that there is still a need for combustion engines for these applications. So we've taken upon ourselves to try and make engines as efficient as we possibly can, whilst driving the emissions down to zero. In January of 2020, which seems like an awful long time ago, pre-COVID, I was on the market looking for a suitable CAD program, a data management program, and I created this selection criteria. As an early stage startup, managing the finances is one of the biggest challenges that you will face. The subscription fee alongside any fees for support is a key variable to consider. Next is the ability to work seamlessly as a team. Each of us are responsible for various parts of the technology, so it's important that we can bring all the design work together and keeping track of all revisions and all iterations to create the overall product. The ability to coexist alongside other engineering tools we use, such as multi-physics programs, which involve things like importing and exporting models. User interface, user experience, you often spend a lot of time and resource trying to find the most basic of commands. So minimizing this downtime is absolutely imperative. And support was also important. None of us are experts, and we wouldn't consider ourselves to be. We have experience in using various packages, but there is just so much that we haven't come across, and we just know we've barely scratched the surface. So having a support line where you can log queries, presence of an online support community, implementation, and other relevant literature, that's really something that we can't downplay. So why Creo? Well, as a student of engineering, I've been a user of SolidWorks for almost 7 years at that point, and it was pretty much my go-to program. It was my bread and butter. We received a quotation from SolidWorks, and we were very close to actually placing the order. One day, I spoke to Mohsin about the PTC solutions, and actually, really, we dived into the strides they've made in recent years. Mohsin and his manager, Nick, they invited me to their offices in Watford, and I was lucky enough to receive a full review, top to bottom, of Creo and Windchill. And that's where I was really able to see to its fullest extent the potential and really the power of Creo. We covered all areas from modeling features, workflow, handling large assemblies, which you can see on screen, user interface, Windchill, surface modeling, which was a key part behind what we do. So I'll show in the next slide actually how Windchill has been instrumental for us in meeting our core objectives. So this is an example or a render we produced, which is a conceptualization for one of our target applications. This actually hasn't been released publicly, so you're one of the first to see it. This is just to demonstrate how Creo has really helped us. So using these drawings, we were able to illustrate the potential of the tech, and it's helped us secure investment, which will actually kickstart the next round of fundraising, which we are currently embarking on. Cash flow challenges. So in January of 2020, this was the state of play. We'd raised £320,000 through government grants, which was a combination of Innovate UK and the OGTC TechX grant. We needed another 170,000 to close the round. Anyone with any knowledge of developing deep tech hardware, such as ourselves, will know that these figures really aren't very much at all, which brings me back to my initial criteria of cost. SolidWorks, they actually quoted us the lowest out of all the various packages. And to many, it probably would have been a no-brainer to proceed with SolidWorks. However, the costs in year 2 and year 3 do ramp up significantly. Whereas for Creo, they remained relatively flat over the 3 years. So thinking long-term is really what saved us from burdening expenses. Now, we could have gone for SolidWorks in year 1 and then year 2 and year 3 switch to Creo course, but really thinking long-term and longevity of the project, that's not really something that we want to do. We don't want to switch programs. We don't want to take existing models, existing data, and transition them all to a new, completely new tool. It's really counterproductive, counterintuitive. So we backed ourselves from the get-go. We knew we'd be here for the long run. So in the end, we decided Creo, financially speaking, made the most sense. But also, when you look at the tools and all the features and the actual core ability of Creo, when you stack them up against the rest, it really outweighed by far, especially when you look at the features on Windchill. A lot of the resellers for SolidWorks, Katia, for example, they were quite honest to admit that Windchill were by far the industry leaders for PLM. And if that's coming from them, that probably means something. So I think having been using Creo and Windchill for over a year by now, I think the decision is vindicated. The team. So the graphic will show you where the Carnot team are based, but most importantly, how we're scattered around the UK. So we've been working with 2 consultants full-time. Duncan's been doing so since the start of the year, and will probably continue doing so for the foreseeable future. And you can see on the graphic, he's based down in the southwest corridor of Scotland. Hugh Griffiths, who is one of our permanent recruits, he frequently visits family in Cardiff, and he works remotely. Francis Lemp, one of my fellow co-founders, lives in Oxfordshire, and our offices is based in London. And our innovation centre, which we've just recently moved into, is based in Hertfordshire. So you can see there's quite a scatter of people working on Carnot. Now, Windchill is installed on our main servers located in our office in London, and each of us are able to work remotely, which became ever important, of course, in the previous 16 months. We're each able to access models, data seamlessly without any issues at all. Each of us are able to open the most recent and up-to-date revisions, progress the technology, and it's really become as though we are working under one roof, even though we are scattered around different parts of the country. Scalability strategy. So this slide will take you through the high-level long-term plan. So we have a 3-phase plan. The PTC products have played a role in each of these 3 areas you'll see on screen, and they will continue to do so right the way through to phase 3. So as Syed mentioned, Creo and Windchill, it's really a product, really a tool which can be scaled right from startup phase through to large enterprise, which is where we hope to be in 2024. So we've been using Creo and Windchill comprehensively, especially in the tech development, progressing various parts of our engine design, working with various co-collaborators, industry partners seamlessly. One thing that's also not mentioned is we've formed a development partnership with an Australian minerals company and a shipping company based in the Isle of Wight. So only by implementing these PTC products have we been able to work with international and overseas collaborators. And that brings me to the end of my slides. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much for your piece, Nadiur. That was very informative and a great insight into the whole decision-making process of how Carnot decided on which tools to use. And as a startup, I wish you all the very best, and we hope to work together in the future more and more as you progress and start achieving your goals. So that brings us to a close of the webinar. I hope it was very informative and gave you an insight into what Creo, what value Creo and the power Creo has that can be used, and that is also cost effective to help with any cash flow challenges for startups. So to summarize, let me finish off with a message for startups. Please do not begin on the wrong foot. Do work with the software that can scale as the business scales too. As we've mentioned, or has been mentioned by Nadiur and Syed, Creo has the power within itself to scale up. There's no need to look elsewhere to obtain a third-party software, and Creo has that capability. So as the startup starts to progress and you start to build, so can Creo. And it's always not the best idea to go for the cheapest option. We understand competitors, we have Autodesk, we have Fusion 360, but it's about thinking long-term. As Nadiur mentioned with Carnot, thinking long-term, we do hope that we have shown you the value Creo can provide to any startup, along with the capabilities of integrating in Windchill, and then beyond that, working with change management systems, e-bomb systems, etc. And so the final message I would like to finish with is choose the right software for you. And if you would like, please do feel free to contact a representative today. We can run through any eligibility checks and see if you would like to see any demonstrations of how we can provide value to you. So I will leave my contact details up there for anybody that would like to take it down. And whilst we are here, let us run through any questions we have. So please do drop any questions you have in the Q&A function, and one of our members will get back to you and answer them. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. I hope you all learn a lot about Creo and the Creators Program, and I wish you all a very good day.